OTL.
You going out here?
Everybody know that.
Yeah, like I hit, but who? Are you bouncing? You bouncing your head?
It turns out those threats weren't just talk because two O-Block-linked rappers, Muna Duke and O-Black's Youngin, were just gunned down miles from home. But here's the wildest part. The man who allegedly pulled the trigger is now speaking out, claiming their deaths trace all the way back to the murder of King Von. So what does King Von have to do with this? Let's break it down. The streets of Chicago, specifically O-Block Ave, long been a battleground with drill music both reflecting and amplifying deep-rooted street beefs. O-Block located in the 6400 block of South Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Drive has been at the heart of that storm for years. While it's produced some of the hottest voices in the drill scene, it's also suffered heavy losses. Between 2011 and 2014 alone, the area saw 19 shootings and 2 homicides. Although there have been efforts to reduce the violence, with reports showing a 52% drop in shootings over the past decade, the cycle hasn't stopped completely. And on May 10, 2025, that cycle spun again with deadly consequences at around 1:20 a.m. Gunfire erupted in Chicago's Edgewater neighborhood, specifically on the 6300 block of North Broadway. The victims were 31-year-old Muna Duke and 26-year-old Youngin, also known as Youngin from Jets Both, repping O-Block and deep in the city's drill music scene. A third man, aged 36, was also shot in the back, but survived. Let's take a moment to talk about who these men were before their lives were cut short. Muna Duke, real name reportedly Omar Cunningham, was an up-and-comer in Chicago's rap scene, known for his breakout track 12 a.m. and his close relationship with King Von, who he considered a brother. In a dramatic twist, Muna had recently become a father, having a child with Fat Banks, who was previously linked to D-Thang, the late brother of famed rapper Lil Durk. That connection alone ties multiple major figures in Chicago's drill legacy into this tragedy. Then there's Youngin, known for his raw, unfiltered lyrics that painted a vivid portrait of life in O-Block. He too was close with King Von, carrying on his legacy and voice in the drill movement. Just as his fan base was beginning to grow, his life was cut short. Both men died at the scene, leaving their community in shock and mourning once again. The way they were taken out paints a grim picture of the lingering danger that still haunts Chicago's streets. And if word on the street is to be believed, this wasn't random. There's a deeper story behind the trigger, and it might just lead back to the ghosts of old beefs and the ripple effects of King Von's death. The shooting went down just as people were leaving a late-night restaurant with a liquor license, making the timing feel intentional. The gunman pulled up in a stolen Infiniti Q50, which was later found torched on Chicago's far south side, specifically on the 600 block of East 134th Place. That level of planning, right down to burning the getaway car, makes it clear this wasn't some random act. It was a calculated hit, likely executed by people who knew exactly what they were doing. That's why the streets are buzzing with speculation about who wanted Muna Duke and Youngin gone. In the immediate aftermath, the drill scene was shaken to its core. Fat Banks, Muna Duke's child's mother, posted a heartbreaking tribute on Instagram. She called him the light to my darkness, saying, "I love you so much, baby, you know that. I showed you that. And you know I was 10 toes no matter the situation." Her grief poured through, but she also made a powerful promise to hold it down for their son, highlighting the heartbreaking ripple effect of this violence. Families' shattered kids left fatherless. Tributes and reactions came flooding in across social media. Pages like No Jumper and Gang Hits went viral with posts mourning the loss. One post bluntly said, "The whole O-Block been getting wiped out since Von D, SMFH." Never saw that for Duke. That raw sentiment underscored how deep the pain runs and how normalized the violence has become in drill culture. But the shock of the loss isn't the only thing grabbing attention. It's the swirling theories about who's responsible. The most widespread speculation centers around long-standing gang rivalries, particularly between O-Block, affiliated with the Black Disciples, and Tookaville, associated with the gangster disciples. One strong theory suggests that these killings were retaliation for the 2020 murder of FBG Duck, a major Tookaville artist. 6 Block members were convicted for his murder in January 2024, reigniting the flames of an already brutal war. A recent YouTube video claims Muna Duke and Youngboy were taken out as revenge for Duck's death, suggesting members of Tookaville or their allies may be behind the hit. That theory tracks considering the long pattern of tit-for-tat violence between these rival sets. Then things took an even darker turn. According to a Reddit thread, alleged Tookaville affiliates started mocking Duke and Youngboy's deaths. One video captured a voice coldly saying, "Beans and bologna I put. They act up there on folks." Disrespect like that, especially toward the dead, is, unfortunately, all too common in gang beefs, often triggering even more bloodshed. And just when the story couldn't get more intense, a known figure in the scene, 607, released a video speaking directly on the murders, dropping claims and insights that are only adding.
The situation it happened late last night in Chicago. With Muna Duke and Youngboy.
Later in the same video, he makes a chilling prediction about the Only the Family, OTF, music collective which had ties to Muna Duke through D. Thang.
OTF.
What's going on here?
Like I hit, bro.
Are you bouncing? You bouncing your head?
57 seems to be moving in a different direction. His words reflect the harsh reality of ongoing gang violence, the endless cycle of retaliation that has claimed countless lives across Chicago's neighborhoods. This brings us to the deeper connection between the recent murders of Muna Duke and Youngboy, the death of Black icon King Von, and speculation surrounding NBA Youngboy's indirect ties. To understand how it all connects, we need to rewind to November 6, 2020, the night King Von, real name Davon Daquan Bennett, was killed outside a nightclub in Atlanta. The incident followed a release party for his debut album, Welcome to Block. A confrontation erupted involving Lil Tim, who was with Quando Rondo, an artist signed under NBA Youngboy's label, Never Broke Again. Lil Tim opened fire on Von, striking him multiple times. Von later died in surgery at Grady Memorial Hospital, just 26 years old. Quando Rondo was affiliated with NBA Youngboy. Many in the hip-hop world began speculating about whether Youngboy had deeper involvement, though there has never been any concrete evidence directly tying him to the shooting. Still, the perceived connection left a lasting mark and fed ongoing rumors within the drill scene. That context is crucial when examining the deaths of Muna Duke and Youngboy. Both rappers had extremely close ties to King Von. Muna Duke, who called Von his brother in everything but blood, was part of his inner circle. Youngboy, on the other hand, was seen as a rising star, committed to keeping the spirit of Block alive through music. Because of their loyalty to Von and symbolic presence in his legacy, their deaths are raising eyebrows. Fans and street sources alike are speculating that their murders may be part of a broader, long-running vendetta, possibly linked to the same tensions that led to Von's death. Shooters are affiliated with rival sets, like Tookavillia's some. Online chatter and alleged affiliations suggest, then it's likely they were aware of King Von's role in the death of FBG Duck, a prominent rival from the other side. That historical beef between Block and Tookaville has been documented in diss tracks, social media, and real-life violence. In those circles, people stay tapped in. So if someone was seeking revenge for FBG Duck, they'd likely view anyone closely associated with Von as a valid target. It's a grim possibility, but one that fits into the tragic pattern we've seen for over a decade, where the lines between music loyalty and street conflict keep getting bloodier. As the speculation builds, so do the questions. Are these murders isolated incidents, or part of a long chain reaction set off the night King Von died? And what role, if any, do figures like NBA Youngboy play in these ongoing tensions? The answers remain murky, but the bodies keep dropping. Youngboy's alleged involvement in the May 9, 2025 shooting deaths of Muna Duke and Youngboy in Chicago remains purely speculative and so far unsupported by any credible sources. Law enforcement has not named him or anyone from his camp as suspects and no concrete evidence links him to the incident. Still, the rumors haven't let up, fueled largely by the long-running tension between Youngboy and King Von, as well as the deep affiliations both Durk and Youngin had with Von and O Block. This speculation isn't coming out of nowhere. Before Von's death in 2020, he and NBA Youngboy had a documented history of friction. The tension allegedly stemmed from a mix of lyrical jabs, social media shade, and romantic drama, most notably involving Youngboy's ex Jania. Von had publicly called out Youngboy's bars as fake during a 2018 Instagram Live, further stoking the rivalry. Interestingly, just a day before his death, Von went on record saying he had no real beef with NBA Youngboy, suggesting the whole thing might have been overblown by the internet. Any hopes that peace was possible were crushed by Youngboy's response after Von was killed. Instead of showing sympathy, Youngboy appeared to mock Von's death, throwing shade in interviews and online. A notable moment during a Clubhouse session in December 2021, Youngboy questioned Von's street credibility. Even earlier in December 2020, just weeks after Von was killed, Youngboy said in an Instagram Live, "It takes a man to kill somebody. Fighting don't make you no man." And that Von died after a fistfight turned fatal, many saw this as a clear shot. Came Youngboy's January 2022 track Bring the Hook, which featured incendiary bars that fans interpreted as direct disrespect. This, that, Squid Game, O Block Pack, get rolled up. Murder what they told us. Atlanta boy get fold up. This verse ignited a wave of backlash from Von's crew, including Lil Durk, and signaled that the beef had extended beyond Von himself to the entire O Block and its affiliates. All this context, it's no surprise that some believe NBA Youngboy may have had a hand directly or indirectly in the recent murders of Durk and Youngin. Both men were not only part of Von's inner circle, but also seen as torchbearers for the O Block legacy. The theory goes that their deaths could be a continuation of the vendetta sparked by Von's killing with Youngboy or someone in his orbit, allegedly putting a price on their heads. There's no hard proof supporting that theory. The pattern of antagonism and diss tracks has kept the rumors alive. It's part of the dark theater of rap beef or something more sinister. One thing is clear. In the streets and in the music, the lines between art, personal animosity, and real-life consequences are dangerously blurred.